Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Join News today. We are coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, minority in parliament accused government of breaching the Public Financial Management Act, no value for money, and a litany of irregularities in the hosting of the just ended African Games. We'll take you live to Parliament where the NDC MPs have been making some demands. Also from Tamale to Kumasi, the Joy News Ghana Connect Town Hall train makes a stop at the Garden City today as we engage residents ahead of the 2024 elections. Plus, minority female caucus of Parliament gives 1 week ultimatum to the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Chairman Wontumi, to retract what they describe as derogatory and baseless remarks he made against NDC running mate Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Nana Aisha. Please do stay for details. Basic school students have expressed concern about nationwide strike by 3 teacher unions, including the Ghana National Association, almost a week. The students, some of whom are writing exams in a matter of days, say they've been told to learn on their own when they come to school, as there are no teachers to guide them. Basic education certificate examination candidates have also been affected with just 3 months to their final exams. There's more in this report.
It's been almost a week since the Ghana National Association of Teachers and 2 other teacher unions embarked on a nationwide strike over their conditions of service. One of the parties that have been affected the most is students. Ghana Education Service directed all district and regional directorates to keep the schools open despite the strike. Primary school students at the St. Paul's RC Basic School in Accra say the absence of their teachers is affecting their studies.
They told us that the teachers are on strike. So we will be going home early.
And from the time you've been here till now, what have you been doing in class?
Yeah, we were talking, then later the seniors came into our class. They told us to take our books so that we can learn some more. This week, Wednesday, we are writing exams. And the teachers are not there because our madam, she doesn't want us to see that as we are playing. She always wants us to be learning. So she sometimes, even when our friends are playing, she calls us into the class so that we come and learn.
Today they said the teachers are gone for strike. Friday, the teachers all went home early. So I didn't know that they would be going for strike. And our headmistress, the Ayawa So Central man came and says the teachers are gone for strike, so we can learn on our own. He told us we should, when they are asked to tell us to go to break, we should go, but we will close early.
They told us to learn when it was weekend. They told us to learn, so I think we should go and learn again because we are coming to write exams soon. So when we don't learn the exams, we can fail.
At the Accra Newtown Experimental 2 Basic School, the situation is not different. At the time the news team arrived at the school at about 1:40 p.m., only JHS 3 students were present on campus. With barely 3 months left to write their final BECE exams, the students here have resorted to studying in groups while hoping the strike will end soon for normal studies to resume.
It's affecting us because we have only 3 months left to BEC, And if there's no teachers, how can we write a BC without teachers? So we need teachers to come and help us to learn and practice the exams and learn to pass our BC, because it's left with only 3 months for us to write BC.
And now there are no teachers, so how are you coping? How are you doing it?
We have to learn on our own. That's what we are doing.
If the teachers don't return, as a student, we will not be able to learn because we are going to our final year, we are going to write our BC. So if the teachers are not around to teach us, we can't get the knowledge and to learn and write the final lesson. So they have to come. Sometimes some of the teachers, sometimes both of them come and teach them. We'll go. We'll not even waste time here. Yeah.
The National Labour Commission's call for an end to the strike was not heeded to by the 3 striking teacher unions. The unions are expected to meet the Labour Commission, the Employment Ministry and other stakeholders to try and resolve the impasse.
This afternoon, the minority in Parliament is accusing President Akufo-Addo's government of grave breaches of the Public Financial Management Act and public procurement laws in the organization of the just-ended African Games. According to the minority MPs, government spent 3-fold the amount used by previous nations to host the tournament. Addressing journalists in Parliament, minority spokesperson on youth and sports, condemns Woyomi, said government sacrificed every principle of value for money and that the games did not actually benefit the country the way it should have, but rather lined the pockets of a few. Kobna Mensah Woyomi also explained that despite the billions of Ghana cedis sunk into the hosting of the games, athletes did not even have the much needed logistics and equipment to help them deliver as much medals. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has joined us with more. He is with the news conference. He's been monitoring for us. Kweku Asante, on what basis is the minority making these allegations?
Well, Aisha, they start by listing a number of the key expenditure items that government has been involved in. They talk about what they believe is government sinking huge millions and billions of Ghana cedis into the project, but ultimately not delivering good quality stuff. For instance, when the game started, we heard of some athletes who just did not have enough equipment to be able to train, despite the LOC having budgeted almost 500 million Ghana cedis as operational expenditure. So these are the issues the minority are raising. They also talk about the medal haul. For instance, Ghana placed 6th on the medal table. They say that is not commensurate with the amount of money they spend. And then ultimately, they are going to demand a full-scale parliamentary probe when the House resumes because of what they believe as to be the corrupt way government handles. And that is the allegation they make. They say that this is not a partisan exercise, but they believe that the government has just been motivated by greed, motivated by corruption, motivated by procurement and shady deals to get into an African game that just did not deliver value for money for the Ghanaian public.
So what demands are being made by the NDC MPs following these claims?
As ultimately, they say that Parliament, when it resumes from its break, must constitute a bipartisan committee to conduct an investigation into the games, particularly the money that they believe may have been lost by the state in organizing these games. They say, for instance, that if you look at about 170 million Ghana cedis that have been spent by the LOC, they also talk about the amount of money that was budgeted for the respective stadiums that were built, for Timan and all that. They say that is not value for money and they want a parliamentary probe.
Kweku Asante is our man in Parliament, bringing us updates from that press conference. Let's stay with Parliament because minority female caucus of Parliament have given a 1-week ultimatum to the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entry-Boesiakwa, also known as Chairman Wontumi, to retract what they describe as a derogatory, unacceptable and baseless remarks he made against Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, running mate of the NDC flag bearer John Mahama. The minority caucus has issued the ultimatum at a press conference addressed by Deputy Minority Whip and MP for Adan Comfort Doyo Kujo. She called on Chairman Wontumi and other persons who engaged in such attacks to publicly apologize to Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
Deserve leadership who uphold dignity and focus on meaningful progress for the nation. As representatives of the people and advocates for gender equality, it is imperative that we stand united in denouncing such reprehensible behavior and demand strict accountability from those who perpetrate it. We call upon Chairman Wontumi and all other individuals who engage in such deplorable conduct to publicly apologize to Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and refrain from making any further derogatory comments. We are giving Chairman Wontumi 7 days ultimatum to publicly retract and apologize to Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and extend the same apology to all women in Ghana, or we will advise ourselves.
The Minority Female Caucus is also describing the allegations made by Chairman Wontumi regarding the marital status and regional origin of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as condemnable and without basis.
It is deeply distressing and unacceptable that in this day and age, a woman of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman's stature and accomplishments will be subjected to such baseless and damning attack on her marital status and origin. Such comments not only reflect a profound lack of respect for women in leadership positions, but also perpetuate harmful stereotypes and discrimination. The recent allegations made by the Chairman Wontumi regarding Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman marital status and regional origin are reprehensible and without merit. These unfounded accusations only serve to further undermine her credibility and integrity as politician and academic.
The Ministry of Energy has responded to claims the Energy Minister has been insensitive with the power crisis being endured by many in the country. The Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, has come under heavy criticism for his rejection of calls for load-shedding timetable due to erratic electricity supply. This comes on the heels of a 24-hour deadline the Electricity Company of Ghana must meet to produce a load-shedding timetable as ordered by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, as many struggle to deal with the outages. The Energy Minister says there will not be any load-shedding timetable and that those who want it must provide it.
Energy sector, the current power cuts. Some people are saying that you made mention of this. You use this as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
if you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration, energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing doom so.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's doom so.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I've promised you that we are going to work on it. And it's not a work that is a single event. It's a process. And we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
people are calling for it.
Say bring a timetable, what do you mean? The ECG says that there is no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country?
Well, in the last few hours, the Energy Ministry has been justifying the Energy Minister's comments, and in a statement issued and signed by the ministry spokesperson, Kofi Abrefa Afena, it reads, the minister dismissed the need for a load management timetable because, in his view, and as indicated by the Electricity Company of Ghana, the cause of the temporary power challenge is being addressed. The minister in the clip said addressing the issue is not an event, which is rightly so. The minister's comparison of the current energy sector to one under former President Mahama, where Ghanaians reeled under pervasive doom for 4 years, comes on the back of recent similar calls in the media space by NDC flag bearer for a load management timetable. This call, in the view of the minister, is born out of the quest to score cheap political points. In fact, a careful listen of the interview will show that the comparative template was set by the interviewer. In the said clip, the minister is clearly seen straining his voice because of the obviously noisy background in order to be heard by his interviewer. This has unfortunately been misconstrued. Dr. Prempe is known to be very media friendly. The Honourable Minister has always been sensitive to the plight of Ghanaian people and continues to ask for their forbearance, as has always been the case when challenges relative to power stability emerge. And at 3 p.m. Today, all road will be leading to the Garden City in Kumasi for the Ghana Connect Town Hall, organized by Joy News and Star Ghana. We'll be bringing you more shortly after this break. News Today would rather wrap up today at 12:30 to give way for another live show coming up. My name is Aisha Brian. Thanks so much for watching. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.